Hello and welcome back to Factorio. And we are going to set up the advanced oil processing setup at this point because we need it. We need to get the more advanced oil, the more, should I say, more difficult oil. It is a bit annoying to do, but it is something you will have to do to actually be able to launch the rocket, because the basic oil processing can only produce petroleum gas. Now, to make solid fuel, you can use the three different kinds of oil products to actually make the solid fuel block. Now, if you want to make rocket fuel, you have to have light oil. So, to actually be able to shoot up the rocket, I happen to know that rocket fuel is part of the rocket. Spoiler alert, the rocket needs fuel, and it needs to be rocket fuel. Well, anyway, you need light oil, which means you have to do the advanced oil processing to get the light oil. So we are going to set up a system that doesn't need a ton of babysitting, because that's the big issue with the whole advanced oil thing, is that it needs a lot of babysitting. Now, we are going to place some of these, and then we are going to place some more of these just besides it. Now, since we have placed them in the manner we have, like this, they don't connect. Now, what I usually do is like this, and I probably want to keep a bit of space in between just in case, like this. And boom, and then we are going to do this like that. Just keep one, and we then just do the rest of it like this, and boom. Now, we haven't placed it the correct way, I can see. Let's remove it and do it again, because I can see we don't have it in the correct orientation from the start. That's what I'm going on, how it's oriented from the beginning. So you don't need to care, as long as the storage tanks are connected, like the row of 10 is connected to each other, then it's fine. You don't need to match them up, so that's not necessary. But at this point, what we need to do is do a bunch of pipes. Now, this is going to suck up a lot of underground pipes, so be aware and be prepared to produce a lot of them. Let's see, we need this one here, and we need this pump here, and now we should probably make this a bit differently. We should make it so it gets, since we want the other stuff south, I'm going to make it so they get fed in from the right here. Like this. Now, we can't really do it like that. We are going to have to put it out one because, yeah. To actually be able to connect it up, we need to do that. Now, as you can see here, it recognizes that we would be mixing fluid, so it's not allowing this placement. Now, there is a way around this to actually mix, but they have, I have to say once again, they have done a great job at like patching out the fluid mixing, because it destroyed so many builds, like so many like saves were destroyed because of one misclick of a pipe. There we go. That's how we should make this go, and we should put this one out like over here, and this one should go as far out as it can. This. Now, how you do this part, which I'm doing right now, is completely up to you. And it also depends on where you put your storage and where you have your oil refineries and where they are in correlation to each other. Now, you want some kind of pattern to where they meet up and connect, because you want the pipes to be easily identifiable for you to spot which one is going where, so you can easily extend your setup. Now, I'm not hooking up the crude oil pipe because we are not ready for this stuff to get made, and we are gonna have to get more ground to pipe. And why I have one, I'm not sure, but sure, fine. Might be that I placed one somewhere and yeah. Let's see, we have cliff explosives, so that's fine. We have placed down all the storage tanks, but I'm going to make 5 more for other fluids, which we are going to have to keep track of as well. Now, what I am going to do is get a bunch of motors because we need more pumps. We are going to use a lot of pumps, so taking motors is a must in this case. Now, how many motors you're going to need depends on how many pumps you want to put down. And what you need to be aware of is that these pumps need to be supplied with electricity, so you have to put power poles so you can actually power them. Let's continue putting down these pipes like this, and then we connect up, whoops, these parts. And let's see here. what we should do before we do anything else is put this one here. And what we should do as well is like this. Get these ones to sit like this. This is just to push whatever the oil refinery produces, push it into storage, basically. So it's going to push whatever is produced into whatever storage we have. So it's going to make sure to drain these pipes as quickly as possible. And let's get this over here. There, right? Yeah, so like that and like that. This one is connected, then it's just the last one. Going to be there, right? Yeah. And I'm going to do this bit again. Connect it up and connect it up. And we now have these ones working. Now, what we want to do is place these like that. Take this one like this. And they are powered. Now, what we want to make is 5, 10, 20, and then 5, 10, 20. Make a bunch of red and green wire because we are going to need them. We absolutely need the red and green wire to actually do this setup. Now, you could just not do what I'm going to do. You could babysit it and put more storage in and try to balance how much you use oil and what kind of oil you use it. But I think that it is way easier to just use stuff. Like, make sure to use a bunch of oil and balance it by using the oil to do fuel blocks and other stuff. Now, we need to move this. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because we need the space that this wall like the wall and the wall defense is occupying at this point. Hopefully no biters will come and wreck our face. We'll see. Let's remove this. It's sort of in the way. Not just sort of, it's totally in the way. Ow. Now I'm going to need more walls to actually do this, but for now I think we should just tear this down and move it a bit. And what I'm going to do is just bring this out and put the corner further out. And for this we need to grenade a bunch of forest to actually be able to do this. So let's grenade the forest because it's not only is it fun, it's necessary. And there's a train going. I absolutely love seeing the trains going while I do stuff. So we have some biters doing stuff, which we don't want them to do. We don't want the biters to do a bunch of stuff. Now I'm going to put up a bit of temporary laser defense here, because we need it. We are going to need it just in case something happens. I'm going to make use of the lasers so we don't have to redo a bunch of stuff before we can do it. So let's just bring power down to all of these. There we go. It is a bit of a wall that needs to be fixed, and the turrets and the belt needs to get moved. So yeah, we are going to have to fix that. I think what I'm going to do is just this. For the time being, at least. Going to... This should be correct. Yeah, it is. It is correctly lined up. And yeah, can move this one. Yeah, we need the space to actually make use of, be able to do some of the... Where is this? Oh, it's over here. Why are you going over here? Like, there's a bunch of defenses here. Why are you going there? That's not a weak spot. Maybe it's because they can't see the weak spot, or they get close enough before they can get to the weak spot, so yeah, whatever. Yeah, we need to clear some space over here, so we actually can make use of things and stuff and things. Let's stop doing that, please. Placed it wrong again. Let's do this, just boom. Now I'm going to pick up a bunch of ammunition. It's going to take up a ton of space. But I think I'm going to have to run back to the car and dump a bunch of ammunition. Now, if you're having trouble killing biters and you're using the firearm magazine, I recommend going for piercing rounds magazines fairly quickly, because they do a lot more damage. So if you do have trouble with the biters and you have trouble killing them, then switch to the piercing round magazines. They are more expensive to make. They take a bit longer, but they do a lot more damage in comparison to the yellow ammunition. So now I don't have like a massive problem killing them, so I'm going to try to use the yellow as much as possible, like use it up basically. But this has given us some extra space. I think we should be fine to plan out a bit of stuff. Now, we need to do something like over here from the beginning. And we are going to do like 10 of these rows of chemical plants doing different stuff. I think that was actually very accurate. That's like it's one. When it came to spacing, it was sort of. Yeah, this one is 2, this one is 2, this one is 1. So to actually keep the pattern, we need to move this one. One down like that. There we go, that should be all. Now, keeping the pattern is not necessarily important in this case, just how I want to make sure I have a lot of space, because pipes need a lot of space. That's something I couldn't stress enough, really. Like, when you do things with pipes, have a lot of space, because trying to cram stuff in with pipes is going to be a nightmare. Now, let's take a look. What do we have first? We have the heavy oils. Let's do this one. Now, what these ones are going to do is they are just going to convert a certain kind of oil into another kind of oil. Where are you going? Taking damage. Okay, it's over there. Might have to put some turrets down over there. But anyway. And then, right, we actually need one more row. One more row. Going to make this spacer. Let's remove you. I'm just making that spacer so we are repeating the pattern, basically. Let's remove that and place it down. Now, while I talk, I will run off and get some more chemical plants. I should probably take 20 just in case I need even more. But yes, what we are going to do with the chemical plants is we are going to convert the different oils into different stuff, so we don't have too much of anything. Let's take 30 of them. And that's basically what it is. We are going to make sure we produce enough of them. Let's take all of them. I just remembered we need to make batteries and stuff, so we're going to need a bit more. Let's take all of the stuff. But yeah, we need to make sure we are producing like the different kind of oils and balancing the stuff, because the thing is, here is the like the big thing. Like the big problem with advanced oil is that it won't produce anything if there's too much of one thing. So if we have too much heavy oil, for example, but we have absolutely no light oil and no petroleum, it won't make anything until the heavy oil is low enough so the oil refinery can output the heavy oil as well. So it needs to be able to output everything at once, because it's one crafting cycle and not 3 different ones. So, and it doesn't separate, it's one recipe, so it can't craft one of the 3 if one thing is full. So if heavy oil would be full and the other 2 is not, and it's backed up even to the oil refineries, then the oil refineries would shut down and not produce anything. And that's the big reason why we need to do this, because otherwise we are going to have to babysit it, we are going to have to tweak it and try to use more, and it's not going to work. Trust me, I have done this a few times. It's not going to work, and it's going to be very time consuming. Now, let's do this one first here. And then we do the light oil one, and then we do the petroleum one. Now, we have still lubricant and sulfuric acid to produce. Now, lubricant and sulfuric acid is thankfully something that you don't need a ton of chemical plants to produce. However, you are going to need quite a lot of chemical plants to produce the batteries, because the batteries takes 4 seconds each. If you want it on the bus, you're going to need at least like 10 of them to produce a good enough amount of batteries to supply yourself for the whole game. Now, you could get away with like 4 or 6 quite easily. Of course, it depends on how big your factory is, how many batteries you consume, and so on, and what you're actually producing. But I would say something like between 4 and 12 chemical plants should be enough. Should be enough. You can always add more, so it should be fine. But yeah, let's take a look. I need to take a peek at like, we are producing plastic. Plastic is being made up here, and this is a good place for it. Now, I'm not going to try to squeeze in the what do you call it, the batteries over here. I'm not going to do that, because that is just going to get way too messy, and we don't need them that high up, so that is fine. I needed to do the plastic because of the red circuits over here that needed the plastic, so yeah. It's not getting coal. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I need to fix that. Yeah, I need to fix that. That's not good. That's what's holding us back. Good thing I spotted that. But we are probably going to have to fix that in the next episode. Because we are coming to a close. We are getting close to the end here. Now, lubricant is something you will need lubricant, but you won't need a ton of lubricant. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this spacer I created, put like 4 of these over here, like that, and put them to make lubricant. Now, this amount of lubricant this is a lot of lubricant. I'm going to actually spin them around as well. And then we are going to make this one a bit further out like this and do 4. No, we're going to do 5. Do the half of these and put one of these like that. Yeah. And then we are going to just do something like this. We don't need to make any like super fancy. There we go. And like that. And we have the basic setup at this point. I'm going to drag the pipes for the output on these quickly before we end. And this one's input. This one's input. And the next one's input. And we are going to just super quickly put these ones in. These ones will have a very, very important role. And there will be a lot of circuit networks making this work. So I should probably make this like out here, because we are going to have to put... Yeah, well, I'll keep it there for now, so I know. But yeah. Once you start doing advanced oil processing, you need a lot more space for oil. And this is the reason. You need these balances to actually balance the 3 different oils, so your oil refineries can keep on producing. That's the big issue with advanced oil, that makes oil such a big hurdle for new players, specifically in Factorio. But we are going to end this episode here and continue with the oil in the next episode. So thanks for watching, goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.